Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm at one of my favorite parking lots because guess what? We have something new from that iconic German brand. This is the new, first time ever, 2021 Audi Q5 Sportback. But before we get into this sexy shape of a SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Audi, they've been around for decades doing the business when it comes to obviously luxury, style, engineering, and my favorite is gonna be performance and race heritage. Now, Audi has been racing in the coveted 24 Hours of Le Mans for so many years, so many great victories, but that's just part of it. There's really a lot of other history when it comes to their racing endeavors, whether it be sports car endurance racing or just racing throughout the whole world. Now, when it comes to the Q5 has been that go-to for people who want that usable everyday SUV. Now, what's great is that Audi has decided to take their Sportback design that they brought to some of their other models and implement it on the Q5. So what I want to do with this review is I want to find out, did they strike gold? Did they hit the nail right on the head with this new Sportback Q5? Or should you go with the competition, one of those Mercedes-Benz GLCs, or even a BMW X3 or X4? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this all-new 2021 Q5 Sportback and see, is it that luxury SUV that you should be buying? Let's check it out. Right off the bat, I love this color. Absolutely stunning, and Audi does such a great job with not only their color palette, but also getting the color onto the body of their vehicles. Now, when we start at the front end of the business, you're gonna see that unique style of headlight design. You're gonna have your very, very signature style LED daytime running lamps that have the built-in LED turn signals, and of course, LED headlights as well. I do like the way the lower section is all blacked out, just a little bit of shiny chrome bit in there, but the nice thing is look at how it flares out as you get towards the fender area, gives it that extra style. Now, as we drop down, the one zonk I do have is there's no functionality to any of this corner area. It would have been nice to have maybe some brake cooling, maybe a functional, air curtain, but not a lot going on in this lower area. It is flat black, which is nice because that'll take a better beating, but it would be nice to have some functionality here. So I am gonna have to zonk that, but the brushed aluminum style that they brought to this trim really pops nicely, especially with the blue finish. And then you can see how they worked that lower fascia area into the bottom portion, just extended it down just a tad. Now, as we come across the front grille, it's that iconic open grille design that Audi really brought to the auto industry. You have your auto union badge, that culmination of the four German car brands that came together to form Auto Union on this Audi. Of course, we're gonna have a forward-facing camera. You got your Quattro badge. What does that Italian word mean? That means four, because we have all-wheel drive. I like the design of the grille, especially all of these aluminum finish type elements that they brought to the design. The rest of it has almost like a metallic smoke gray appearance to it. And then working your way down, you do have full functionality on this bottom area and flat silver. Instead of flat black, flat silver on that lower lip extension really gives it a nice look. Now, the great news is on the Sportback, all of them come standard as S-lines. So this is gonna have some of that extra sporty styling that you would see from an S-branded vehicle from the Audi badge. Now, when we get up onto the hood, nice waterfall effect coming into that top grille area. I love the body lines, how they start on the grille and everything just goes towards the windshield. And of course, the A-pillar. Look at how there's a nice peak here. They really do some great metal work on their hoods to have that clean, German-specific styling. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with on this 2021 Sportback, the first of its kind Q5 Sportback? You're gonna see these bright metallic silver wheels. Now, if you're wondering, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? 20-inch wheel. Nice, simple design. Doesn't have to be something so complicated with all these intricate lines all over the place, but the metallic silver definitely pops nicely with the metallic blue that we have. And I like the way they painted everything within the fenders to really give it that nice, classy look. You got the Audi badge in the center, and you'll notice that nice large 4-piston caliper gonna clamp down on that fully ventilated rotor. I'm gonna have Lori kind of zoom in and show off the upper control arms and some of the suspension work there. You can get optional adaptive suspension all 4 corners. There's that great body line, just like up on the hood, coming into the top of the fender. And you do have that S-Line badge. Like I said, all of them come standard at the S-Line trim. Now, working our way down the side, color matched on the mirror caps, of course. You do have your slim and trim LED turn signals, bright shiny metalwork, top and bottom, color matched on the door handles. And then on the bottom portion, you're gonna have that flat silver like we found on the bottom lip of the front fascia. That gives it that nice cohesive design. And I like the way they didn't just slap it on. You can see how it has some nice aero element to it as it comes towards the rear. And the body lines that are in the lower portions of the door give it that extra design element as well. So happy they didn't put any kind of roof rails up top. That really accentuates that sexy Sportback design. Another competitor that would go up against this would be that new Infiniti QX55, which we did bring to you here on Rady's Rides. Same overall kind of feel to it. Working our way towards the rear, you can see large triangular quarter glass with that trim, kind of flares out, nice aluminum finish to it. And then you're gonna have that nice hard body line that comes into that rear fender. And like I said, Quattro, you're getting all-wheel drive power to the ground, swinging around the back, and this is really where the Sportback shows its sexiness. You got that low roof spoiler that extends off, coming over the rear glass. I like the way they have these aerodynamic edges that have been brought in to really allow that air to flow. My only zonk would be the wiper. And especially on a Sportback, if this was tucked up underneath, it would really give such a clean look to the back. But of course, we got that auto union badge, the 4 rings, so much history. Like I said, Le Mans victories, Sebring victories, and everything else in between. German touring car wins and championships, even rally racing. My type of off-road and on-road WRC type stuff. Q5 badge, nice shiny bit with the flat brushed aluminum silver. We got another Quattro badge, and then as we drop down, the great news is no exhaust, no fake exhaust. Very, very clean on the lower bumper area. Love the way they did the center section here. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood on our Sportback Q5 and see what's powering it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath the hood, you're gonna find a very pleasant engine cover. It's got the Audi badge up top. I like the way they did the design, but what I like even more is look at the bracing that they put at the firewall area, the back portion of the engine compartment, not only across where the shock absorber mounts are, but also coming straight from the firewall. That shows that engineering, that track engineering that's been brought to all the Audis. You don't have to buy an R8 or a TTRS to get that engineering from the racetrack. But what are we looking at? A 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 261 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. The vehicle does weigh 4,079 pounds. MPGs, 22 in the city, 28 on the highway. The great news is if you want more power, you could get more power. You could go with the SQ Sportback, and that's going to give you that extra power, but also the 8-speed automatic by going with the SQ5. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior of this new Sportback, see what's different, and see how much room do we truly have with a sexier shape. Guys, we're inside this 2021 first time ever Q5 Sportback. I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm just like Lori. I love the sexy shape of this thing. The color just pops. And those beautiful 20-inch wheels and all-wheel drive. How much is this? Well, starting MSRP for the Q5 Sportback is around $47,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Classy, clean styling. So you're going to notice dark material up top that is soft touch. Then you're going to even notice even more that dark brown wood finish. Absolutely love that trim. There's no veneer finish on it, so you don't have to worry about fingerprints or gloss or glare. The silver is very tasteful. And then as you work your way to the midsection, you're going to notice this two-color combo deal. So you're going to get the dark material with the beige in the center there on the armrest with the stitch work. It's sporty and classy all at the same time. Good size on the door pocket. Could easily get a bottle of IBC root beer and a Bavarian pretzel with extra salt. And then we have the Bang & Olufsen sound system to give you those super clear tunes. Wonderful, tasteful additions to this Q5 Sportback. Going from the door panel to the dash, clean is the name of the game. Very clean styling, nice soft touch material, the aluminum. You got your Quattro badge. There's that open pore wood that goes all the way across from one side to the other. And then smack dab in the center is gonna be that over 10-inch infotainment system screen. Now, I know some people are not in love with this floating iPad style, but the great news is easy to get to, touch screen capability, navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You could go into your vehicle settings. Very, very clean. We could go into Audi Drive Select. You got all your different modes, off-road, comfort, auto. We're gonna keep it in dynamic, or you could go full individual setup and then right back home again. Let me throw it into reverse. Look at the clarity on the backup cameras. Trajectory, absolutely stunning with the 360 degree. So clear, I could read the license plate number off of that SUV back there. And then when I put it back in park, now we're looking out the front with the trajectory. That's wonderful technology. That's what you get with the Q5 Sportback. Working your way down, we got heated seats, ventilated seats, dual climate control. Knobs have a wonderful feel. Feels like a 1920s Wells Fargo safe. You can hear the click sound that it makes. Look at the toggle switches. You just need to rub your finger over them. More toggle switches down below. We got a little tiny nook for 2 Twinkies, USB 12 volt, your silver finish start stop button, some of that extra wood finish. You got an actual knob for the volume, and we have a little tray here for our Skittles. This is going to control the 7-speed automatic with the leather finishes to it, just a little bit of gloss black. We got a holder for our key fob, or you could put a Slim Jim in there. It's got the lock, unlock, pop the back, the auto union badge, and then look at what we have here. Wireless charging, but the great news is you could actually have your phone charging, slide it back, and what do we have? A heated and chilled cup holder. I'm gonna keep it on chilled for your drinks. You could even chill your Twinkie in there. That'll feel real good. Armrest, multifunctional, watch this. Move it forward, move it back. You could even ratchet it up so that, say you like to rub your bottom of your chin when you're thinking and you're driving, gives you the perfect angle, or you could just put it right back. Open it up, what do we got? You got enough room for, I would say, $500,000. Not in cash, but 500 gram bars, and there's a USB-C. Seats, stylish, classy, soft touch leather, the piping, look at the perforated center. The bolstering is wonderful. Full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. You do have a manual hammy extension, which is a nice touch. Push it back, and then we got a full-length panoramic sunroof for everybody to get their vitamin D. But you know what? Why don't you come over to the business end behind the wheel of this Audi Q5 Sportback so I can show you what's going on. Guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have that very tasteful S badge logo on the sill to greet you every time you come in and out of your Q5 Sportback. All the seat controls, that lower lumbar, you can bump it up to the middle. Really nicely done. Get it perfect for you. I'm 6 feet tall. There's plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, one of the best. Audi does amazing steering wheels. The leather, the beautiful stitch work, nice aluminum finish. I like the way they hollow out the center instead of putting a big piece of gloss black. You got flat black on the buttons. It is a heated steering wheel. The one zonk is they use some of the smallest paddles for behind the steering wheel, and they're made out of plastic. They should be made out of metal from a brand like Audi. But look at the dash, that virtual cockpit, a little over 12 inches of visual pleasure right smack dab in your face. And then look at this, you could change it up so easily. Very, very intuitive. Let me go back though, because I just love that great style that they have there. And there's a head-up display. So they got you covered technology-wise. Let's get to the back seat and see how your passengers are going to enjoy riding in this sexier shape SUV. All right, guys, the great news is backseat passengers, the passenger volume is not compromised. I'm 6 feet tall. I have plenty of room up front. I got plenty of room in the back seat, even with the sexy Sportback design and the panoramic sunroof. Backs of the seats have plastic, so if you are a parent, that's going to be easy to keep clean. You do have those pesky cargo nets, but that seems to be a German Euro styling thing that just will not go away. You do have rear AC with your rear AC controls for the blower fans and the temperature. And then you do have heated seats, no ventilated seats, 2 USBs and a 12 volt, which is a nice touch. And then the seats, like I said, very, very comfortable. We could pull this down. What do we got? You got your center cup holder there. Push it on back. I'm feeling good. Let's get to the cargo area and see what we're missing when it comes to overall dimensions in this sexy SUV. All right, guys, cargo area time. And I know this is one of those areas where many people say, hey, if I go Sportback, I must be losing a lot of cargo space, but get ready for this magic trick because Audi has done a bang-up job. Hit the button, nice electric assist, super quiet, and you're going to be greeted to a very, very large opening. Now, the good news is they do give you these cargo nets on both sides for the emergency snacks on your next family trip. There is LED lighting, and if you're wondering, well, Joe, how much room is there, especially if I compare this to the regular Q5, how much room are we dealing with? So you're basically looking at 24.7 cubic feet of space with the seats up. If you compare that to your standard Q5, that is actually 25.1. So you're not losing a lot with the seats up. With the seats down, it's 52.3 cubic feet of space. If you were in a regular Q5, it would be 53.1. So you're not losing much space whatsoever, but yet you're gaining a lot of that sexy appearance. We'll lift up the cargo floor. You can see that you have your spare underneath there. And then I'm going to show you how we fold down the seats. It's actually very simple. You're just going to go ahead, pull each handle from the sides here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over the passenger door and click them in. So they actually click in, so they're not going to bounce all over the place. Not totally flat, but yet you can see all that great space even with the sexy Sportback. But you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. We got Quattro all-wheel drive. We got turbocharged power. Let's go on throttle in our Q5 Sportback. All right, guys, we're in this 2021 Audi Q5 Sportback. Right away, I just love the layout in here. The infotainment system, like I pointed out, is so easy to get to. It's at a great height where you could visually get your eyes on it, but yet still stay focused on the road. And the fact that you could bring the navigation to the virtual cockpit even makes it better. I mean, this is technology that really Audi brought to the forefront in the auto industry. Thickness on the steering wheel is just about right. Seats are comfortable and also supportive without being too hard or without being too soft. Plus, we have the ventilated and heated capabilities for both seats up here, which is going to give you that extra nice comfort as well, especially on a hot sunny day like it is today. But visibility, you would think with a Sportback design would be compromised. It really is not. The side mirrors are great size. You got your blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, emergency brake assist. So they have you covered when it comes to the full fleet of safety features that you come to expect in a vehicle of this quality, this magnitude. Now, going down the road, it's so simple to drive. I think they really hit the nail on the head with the overall dimensions of the Q5 just in general. A lot of people think they need to go Q3, but I always recommend taking a Q5 for a spin. I want to go ahead and do a quick on throttle. I have it in dynamic mode. I have it in automatic shift with the transmission, but on throttle, here we go. So you are getting that great Quattro all-wheel drive system getting power to the ground. Let's see how we handle in this right-hand turn. Back on throttle, here we go. Very smooth shifts from the 7-speed. You're just waiting just a tad for that boost to pick up, Once it does though, you're off and running, and what I always enjoy about driving any Audi product is the great work that's gone into the engineering of the chassis. Even without this being an S model or an RS model, you're still getting great information transferred from where you're sitting to the steering wheel, whether it be the front end of the vehicle and also the rear end as well. And then getting through that intuitive infotainment system, you could go into the different vehicle adjustments. You could even adjust things with your seating, your AC, the whole shabam. So they really got you covered when it comes to the technology piece. And without this being a true S model, you are getting decent performance from the Q5 Sportback. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the Q5 Sportback out onto the highway and see how this vehicle cruises down the road. I think we're gonna be surprised because even with the 20-inch wheels, you have those meaty 65 series sidewall tires, and that really is gonna allow you to have a comfortable, planted feel as you go down the road. I'm very, very happy on the visibility out the windshield. I mean, you're at a great height where you can see a couple cars in front of you, but then when it's time to go on throttle, you just lay it down and you're off and running. That allows you to merge, get into your lane that you want without getting in your own way or anybody else's way. And here we are cruising down the road. RPM is around 1500, right at about 63 miles an hour. So I mean, it really does many things well and is really balanced when it comes to the big picture. And what the big picture is, if you're wondering, is that everyday livability, yet you get to have those fine touches that a brand like Audi brings to the table. But I'm hoping that you were able to get a good overall feel of what the Q5 Sportback is bringing to the table. What is so special about it? We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day with this 2021 Audi Q5 Sportback. I definitely wanna thank Steven, Jacob, and the whole team over at Audi for allowing Ladies Rides access to this press suite vehicle. It really goes to show that Audi just does not stop trying when it comes to moving direction forward with design, but yet keeping all the elements that are true to the brand, that quattro all-wheel drive system, and definitely that luxury style, feel, fit, and finish. If you're looking for some type of unique SUV, you're gonna wanna add this to your list. Let me know what you think about it. Would you go this route over a Mercedes GLC or an Infiniti QX55 or a BMW, say, X4? But if you wanna keep seeing these unique, sexy shape SUVs on Ladies Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. If you want to help me keep making great content just for you, click the first link in the description, become a Ladies Rides Patreon member. Click the second link in the description, get yourself some Ladies Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She's giggling away, loves to bring you all the action. We love to bring you the laughs as well. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do, for being the muscle behind that camera. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.